It's like we're back in 2001 again. Gran Turismo 3 was the first game in which this Honda NSX GT500 car from the year 2000 was launched, and now 23 years on we get to see this legend return in Gran Turismo 7. Available from the legendary dealership right now for 1,500,000 credits, 1.5 million credits, is this fantastic car. And this car is so good. It's a fantastic Group 3 car. You can earn the money back within an hour. Now I've got this car maximised in its tune to be able to dominate the Sardinia World Touring Car 800. So if we head over to World Circuits, head over to Europe, head across to Sardinia Road Track, and then we head over to the 800 pp World Touring Car 800. I'm going to give you a breakdown of the strategy and give you the full tune at the end of this video. The first thing I recommend you do is to run fuel map number 2. Fuel map number 2 can get you all the way through this race on a 2-stop strategy. Pitting end of lap number 5 and end of lap number 10. Into turn 1, braking at the red on the barriers will get you into turn 1 pretty nicely. And guys, I think we can get sub 25 minutes in this Group 3 car. That's one of the fastest Group 3 cars for Sardinia, and this tune is basically maximised to the best it can be. There's no glitch or understeer kind of nature to this car. It's absolutely maximised because the Group 3 cars can never really get above 800 pp. We've got as much performance in this car as we can get, so it turns nicely, has really good grip, as the new Honda there. We're going to put a move on Gallo, just showing that that new car who's boss. We've got some vintage Castrol NSX in this one, guys. Braking at the 150 boards for most of the big braking zones, all the way down to first gear, watching the bumps in the middle of the corner, right down to first gear, and then just launching the car out the corner through here. We're going to go to the wide side of this Ferrari. Is there going to be enough room? Just about enough room. Bit of a compromise on the first corner here. We can run that much better when we get a bit of clear track. 100 board for this braking zone. Again, down to first gear for all of the slow speed corners. First gear in this car is very usable. It works really well, and in fact all the gear ratios are pretty good. We're going to back off to get to the inside. Bit of contact there between a Corvette and the Mazda RX Vision, I think. But we're going to open it with a 139. I think we can go better than that. 134s are possible. Braking at the start of the blue all the way down to first gear. We're just a bit deep on some of the corners this time, maybe because the car is full of fuel. We are good on fuel. We can probably use fuel map number 1 on a few laps, but we're going to run just as we are for the moment. Running through here behind the BMW now, just 11 off the lead of the race. Second gear through this bit, try and get connected to the concrete on the inside. Oh, massive swaz there, caught that one. That was unexpected, guys. If you need to use TC, use TC on 1 or 2. We're going completely on 0, as you can see. Can be a little bit wild. It caught me out a little bit. 150 is the braking reference point again. And now, guys, if you do notice, I am using the Moser R5 bundle, and I've got a full review video on my channel and exactly how to get it working on PlayStation 5. If you look in the comments or the description below, you'll be able to link to find that video. I'm really impressed with this wheelbase and pedal setup, guys. Bit of slow speed from that Nissan there. We're going to get him into the final corner. We're not quite going to get there. We have to back off and get him on the corner exit, and we've got that move done. 10 seconds of the lead of the race, 3.8 laps to go on fuel. I think we've really got on fuel. 136 is that lap. Into 6th gear just at the start of the blue on the brakes. Maximise that corner entry with a wide entry just to carry that speed at the apex. This car is one of my favourite Group 3 cars to drive. It just flows really nicely. Great turning, nice amount of kind of float as you kind of turn the car in. And it sounds fantastic as well. Can't beat a GT500 car from the 2000s. Absolutely incredible. Try and get connected to that concrete on the inside there. Not quite going to make that. So I think we could probably forget about fuel. Fuel map 2 for the whole race would be safe. We could try and push it to 1 on a few laps if we're feeling brave. We'll just close into the back of that Mercedes. Try and get him on corner exit. Not quite. To the inside, to the outside. I don't know where to go. To the outside is. Compromise our entry into here a little bit. Another compromised lap really, but we should be getting free traffic pretty soon. Now in the lead of this race is obviously Portillo. He pits on lap number 4. As you may already know, he's not really in this race. He's on a 3-stop strategy, which is never going to work out for him. And can we get to him before he gets in the pits? 5 seconds off the lead, and this car is absolutely monstering. 135s already. 0.6 gets us into the 134s. This car is so good going down through the gears. It really sounds incredible. And the car just flows so well. 4 seconds off the lead. It's so good flowing into here. And then getting the first gear on the switchback. Pulls out the corners lovely in first gear. Now bouncing through the gears now into the 50 board. Oh, a little bit of swaz again there, just trying to carry that speed a little bit too much. We've got it covered with the Moser R5. 3.1. This is Portillo's pit lap. Are we going to get there? Just rolling off those brakes as we squeeze through here. Now guys, very interestingly, I've done a bit of a brake mod to this R5 pedal to make it really, really good. I'll cover that in a future video. Oh, looking like we're not quite going to get there. He might just pit before we can reach him. Not quite going to get that run. I have beat him into that corner in a previous attempt, but this time we just didn't quite get it. Just a little bit off pace, couple of seconds down maybe. And there we go. Portillo is going to pit. See you later. We won't be seeing him again in this race. So 1 minute 35.2. Not too bad. We could be on track for a sub 25-minute race in a Group 3 car, which I think is a very fantastic time. Just the flow this car has is really quite good. It's probably one of my most fun cars to drive. I've already made a top 800 pp, top 5 tunes, and this one is probably going to jump straight into that top 5. Oh, I got a bit nervous then. I thought it was sliding again. So 1.1 laps of fuel. We will be pitting on this lap, so we could boost up a little bit to get there, but let's just leave it on 2 to be safe. Just rolling off those brakes as we go through. Guys, I think a very interesting thing that I've come to realise is to be fast in Gran Turismo 7, you have to get good at being on the brakes, using the brakes. That is what makes you fast. A bit paradoxical, but yeah, being good on the brakes makes you faster. So this is our pit lap, end of lap number 5. The rear tyres do get a bit of a pounding on this car, being mid-engine, all that. If you do want to use TC on either 2 or 3, then that will certainly help you. We're going to put a brand new set of racing soft tyres. We're going to fill the car to the maximum, and the guys are going to go to work. Guys, if you do want anything from GT Omega, my classic wheel stand still works perfectly even with a direct drive wheel. Check out the links in the description below. I've got an exclusive discount code, 5% off anything at GT Omega with discount code CD5, filling up that tank of fuel. Also, if you want to check out my Moser R5 bundle review, that'll be linked in the description too. I'm impressed with it so far, but I'm going to continue to test and use it and see how it all works out. So there we go, exiting the pits. We need to be careful of any traffic, but I think we're good. Into turn 1. Tyres will be a little bit cold, as you see just down here maybe. We've got the tyre temperatures with a fresh set of tyres out the pits. They will be a little bit colder than the tyres that have run through the race. but they should be up to temperature about half a lap, maybe a full lap. But off we go, full tank of fuel. Remember, with fuel back in the car, the braking distances are going to be a little bit longer. Trying to get connected to that concrete on the inside, that really helps to hook the car around. And the beauty with using a Group 3 car tuned just below 800 pp is that you can change the setup however you want it to. You can use anything you want to do to make the car drive exactly how you want it to. I'm going to discuss my exact tune at the end of this video, but feel free to make adjustments, change it how you want to do, because you can't go over 800 pp, so you can only tune to as fast as the car can be. Just flowing through there quite nicely. Now the LSD setup on this car is very important because it's a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car, and those cars in Gran Turismo 7 have a very high tendency to have a lift-off oversteer. We've got the LSD set to be very high on braking sensitivity. That helps to stabilise the car. I'll go through the full tune at the end of this video. So we're going to open out with a 138 out lap. Let's see if we can get into the 134s in this stint. Maybe a little bit too early on the brakes there, a little bit of swaz, just clipping that curve a bit too much. Nicely caught out again. This direct drive wheel is really quite impressive, guys. I'm really loving it. Let's try and get that sub 25-minute race time. That is the goal for this one, guys. Let me know in the comments, are we going to get there? Sub 25, is it on? All the way to the outside of the track on corner exit there. Still keeping on fuel map 2. I think we're good. Maybe we'll do a last lap dash. Oh, we're deep on the brakes there. Kind of wanted to go 1 gear lower than first, but there was no gear available. We still got it stopped. Not too bad. We can try and maximise our flow through here. That was actually pretty bad. It should have been much further to the right hand side of the track to allow us to open up that left hander. In fact, we are really suffering with a much heavier car, so we need to be braking a couple of meters earlier than we are doing with a higher fuel load. Onto the main straight. You can pretty much be flat through there. If you get the line right, flat onto the main straight is no problem at all. 136, we need to be in the 35s at least. Braking just as the blue starts. Flowing through, trying to get on the gas as early as we can. Maintaining that minimum speed through the corner is what we want. Keeping the car to the left to allow us to open up the right and get on the gas as early as we can. Using all the exit on the exit curb there. 50 board, down 2 gears into second. Try and connect with that concrete on the inside. Not quite getting there that time. Looking like halfway through lap 8, 12, 30. It's going to be close, guys. Oh, just trying to get the car stopped. Spin up the tyres a bit on corner exit there. Keep it to the right hand side, opening up that left hander, throwing the car in much better line through there. This could be a better lap, maybe at the 100 just before. I need to bring that braking reference point a little bit further forward. We're not quite getting the car stopped enough. Flat onto the main straight, absolutely no problem at all. If we get the line right, what's the lap time going to be for lap number 8? 35.666. Wow. And then we're on the brakes into turn 1. Flowing through here. That's nice, nice corner exit. Let's try and hit those apexes on this lap. Portilla's going to make his second pit stop. Now open up that right hander. What's the sector 1 time going to be? Are we going to be up? and it looks like we are almost on schedule, just down by a tenth. Much better corner exit that time though. In fact, let's switch over to the lap times. So our optimal is into the 134s. We just need to execute just before the 150. There we go, much better connection to the apex there. Flowing through here, we need to make sure we stick to the right hand side to open up that left hander. Much better, way better. You see how that worked out for us, being on the right hand side, opening up that left hander. A bit of a bodge attempt at the braking zone there. Thrown a bit of time wait for sure, but we will see what we got. So that's going to start, our next lap's going to be our pit lap. So I think it's going to be down to the last stint where we're going to get into that 34. Oh, we're so close to the 34 then. 35.0. So this is our pit lap. Need to make it count. In laps and out laps do matter. You may not be able to reference them as regard to your fastest laps, but they do all count to your race time. Now the car feels very good. It's very stable on power. It can slide, but it's quite catchable. So that was a good first sector. So the racing soft tyres do wear towards the rear. You can try and balance that with a bit of brake bias, but it's difficult to really fix the problem with these mid-engine rear-wheel cars. Watch out for the bump in the middle of that corner. It can really upset the balance if you're on the gas too early. We're going to be up on our best by a long way really. So 34's demonstrated being possible. Oh, I felt the rear slide a bit then. Definitely be cautious on your pit lap because the rear tyres will be quite second hand. So we're actually catching these guys at quite a convenient point because we're going to pit. We're not going to have to deal with that traffic. 0.5 laps of fuel, so we do need to pit in this lap. End of lap number 10 is our second pit stop. Same process again, put on the racing soft tyres, fill the car to the maximum, which should give us a little bit of headroom if we decide to go and bump it to fuel map 1 to do the final lap of the race, for example. So yeah, I'm loving this car, the vintage Castrol livery. I remember spending hours and hours playing Gran Turismo 3, and this car was such an iconic car from Gran Turismo 3. So to see it back in Gran Turismo 7, modernised, recreated to incredible detail is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, hugely excited for driving this car more and more. Okay, so we're good, we're filled up, race to the end of the race. Just to make all the laps count really, minimise errors. Fragger's pitted there for his final pit stop. Now I haven't been paying any attention at all to the tyre telemetry data. It is on the screen, so feel free to let me know in the comments if you have any observations about the tyre temperatures. But yeah, I don't have it really big enough for me to be able to reference particularly easily. I'll try and get a check-in on the tyre temperatures on lap 14 and we'll see what we're doing. But feel-wise, the car seems to feel really good. I guess we lose a bit of rear grip as the rear tyres wear more than the front, but that's kind of to be expected, and it's not something that is impossible to drive around. Corner exits is probably where it's most difficult, but with a bit of TC on, that will provide no problems at all. Oh, there we are, deep again on the brakes with the full tank of fuel. Brake a couple of meters earlier than you need to when you've just come out the pits, guys. Oh, getting some fantastic feedback through the R5 wheelbase. I'm really enjoying this. I do also have a full tune for my R5 wheelbase settings in my review video, and I think it really brings the wheelbase to life when you use my settings. This feels so sharp and crisp, and yeah, it's hugely better than the GT, not the GT, the G29. Okay, so what's first sector going to be? Pretty much 0.2 down. That's not too bad. We can recover that one. Just need to hit our apexes, hit those braking markers, and we will be rocking. So 134.7 is the optimal, so we can be in the 34s, no problem. I think braking earlier and trying to get the flow is much better than braking later and having to square off the corner a little bit too much. Are we going to be down by quite a long way? Much better through that corner there. Opening up that right-hander is essential. Yeah, we need to be braking at about 110, I think, for that final. Well, it's beyond 90-degree corner. Oh, we pushed that a bit too much. A bit of a wrong line on corner entry. Still in the 135.5, 0.6, so solid lap times. Oh, I felt the car just put a little bit as we just went over the top of the hill there. Going to put a lap on the modern Honda NSX. That's a bit embarrassing for the Honda boys. We'll throw it to the inside here. Compromise our line a little bit, but needed to get it done. How many cars are we going to put a lap on in this race? Now this is a Group 3 car, remember guys. I've got plenty of other tunes on my channel which are much faster at completing this Sardinia 15 lap race, but we are in what should be equal machinery to all the other cars in the race in the Group 3 category. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing this race in this car. Trying to get a little bit of flow through there. That was quite nice actually. What we're going to do, 1 second down on our best. Not too bad through that corner there, so we need to really pick up the pace. The heavy fuel load isn't really helping us at all. I'm just not getting the car stopped. That was much better, but I brake a lot earlier and it still didn't really stop. So yeah, 110 meters I think is probably where we need to be braking for that one. Just brushing that outside curb there. What's the lap going to be? It's going to be 35 still, just still in the 35s. That would be nice if we can stay in the 35s. Oh, again, deep on the brakes. Just pushing that brakes a bit too much, guys. I'm losing so much time just going deep on the brakes. Brake early is much better than trying to push it too late on the brakes. But even when you go deep on the brakes, the car will allow you to square off the corner and make a tighter but slower turn towards the outside. The car is quite forgiving. Yeah, this is feeling fantastic. I'm really enjoying driving this car, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the tune in the comments below, guys. Come back and let me know. Oh, that was nicely through there, that was. Bit of traffic here, guys. That's going to compromise our lap time a little bit. We can send it here. Had the double downshift there for that corner, but we need to make that pass. In fact, the better you do the dogleg left-hander, the earlier you have to brake for that final corner, and that's probably what is disrupting my flow a little bit. I'm getting some fantastic lines through the... Whoa, that was close. That was close. Could have been in a bit of an accident there, guys. So it's still in the 135s. Oh, danger. Now we're on the final lap of the race. It's going to be passed to the outside. I'm going to go... That's a bit awkward, really, because that's not been what we wanted to do. Let's quickly get to the fuel. We haven't really got that much fuel to really use. I think a drag race to the line on mixture 1 could be... No, we're going to go mixture 1 to finish this race off. Let's try and make it. Let's try and go sub 25. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, 1 lap of fuel. We're already a long way around the lap already, so we're just pushing this to the absolute maximum. Oh, it's going to be very tough, guys. Very, very tough. Need to brake a little bit earlier because of the overspeed. More cautious on corner exit because of the power. Oh, I can feel that the car just spinning up the tyres there. That is absolutely fantastic. Way off the pace. I don't know why we're way off. Oh, because we ran wide. That's why. We ran wide at turn 1. Get the car stopped. Get the car turned. 24.53. I don't think we're going to do it. I don't think we're going to do it. It's going to be very, very close. I don't think it was a perfect run. Let's try and use a bit of slipstream to get to the line. No, we're just going to miss out. Sneak to the wall. So it's going to be 25.07. Now, I reckon there was a good few laps in that race, and the rear tyres looking like they are getting a bit warmer. I think there are a good few laps in that race where I was compromised. I can do 1 minute 34, so I think going sub 25 minutes is possible in this car. So there we are. We're going to get that fantastic 727,500 credits for the race in pretty much 25 minutes. So guys, now here is the full tune for this fantastic Honda NSX GT500 from the year 2000. Everything on screen you can see that is highlighted in blue is different from the standard car. So first of all, racing soft tyres front and rear, because we're doing a 2-stop strategy and we're doing 5 laps on the tyres, and the racing soft tyres work pretty well. I think the car is pretty kind on its tyres as well, so that works fantastically. For the downforce, I've got maximum front downforce and I've got 680 rear downforce. If you want a little bit more high speed stability, then raise the rear downforce. If you want it to be a little bit more free on high speed, then you can lower the rear downforce. I do use the high RPM turbocharger. For the suspension setup, it's 58mm ride height front, 60mm rear, 3 anti-roll bar, 6 rear anti-roll bar, 22 front compression damping, 32 rear compression damping, 34 expansion damping for the front, 37 expansion damping for the rear, 3.7 natural frequency for the front, so that there's spring rate, and then 3.74 for the rear, 1.5 degrees of camber all round, 0 toe in at the front, 0.14 toe in at the rear. Now most of this is just to try and get the car to be a little bit more keen to turn, a little bit more steering, because what I've also done is I'm using the LSD to make the car safe on braking and coasting. So lift off oversteer you get very commonly with the mid-engine rear-wheel drive cars. Having the braking sensitivity set to 60 really neutralizes the lift off oversteer, and then we're using the suspension setup to get a bit of steering back in the car. It's the way I think the car is safest to drive. Initial torque is set to 5 and the acceleration sensitivity is remains at 20. I'm using the fully customizable racing transmission, and that is set to 320 kilometers an hour max speed. I haven't manually adjusted the gears, but here are the numbers if you need them. The power restrictor is at maximum. There is no ballast because we're not trying to reduce PP at all, and the output is 100 as well, and the fully customizable ECU as standard. Now brake balance, I didn't cover it in the driving at all, but I have set it to 0. It feels pretty good, but feel free to use the brake balance forwards or backwards to determine how you want the car to drive. You can change that on the fly as well. So that's going to cover this fantastic Honda NSX build, brand new for update 1.48. Is it 4.8 or 4.9? I can't remember. But the brand new car in the new update for Gran Turismo. Now, if you want to know how to fine-tune the car to be perfect for your liking, I've got a great video explaining everything you need to know about the LSD in Gran Turismo 7. It'll be on screen for you right now.